To today's news edition. First, let's take a quick look at the headlines. Voter turnout at 61.19 in Haryana Assembly elections. Floods and landslides in Garo Hills claim 5 lives amid ongoing crisis. Meghalaya politicians push for job reservation reforms amid rising scheduled tribe population. Meghalaya government addresses drug abuse with preventive detention. And UDP proposes terminal points to elevate Shillong's traffic rules. The news in detail. Polling for the Haryana Assembly election saw a voter turnout of 61.19%, with the process largely peaceful across the state. Voters from all demographics, including centenarians, eagerly participated. Notably, home voting was introduced for those over 85 and persons with disabilities. The fate of 1,031 candidates, including key figures like Acting Chief Minister Nayab Singh Saini and former Chief Minister Bhupendra Singh Hooda, is now sealed in EVMs, with results set to be announced on October 8. The Garo Hills are facing a severe crisis due to heavy rainfall, resulting in multiple landslides and flash floods that have claimed 5 more lives in 3 separate incidents, taking the overall tally of casualties to 15 people. A teacher and his son were swept away into the Bugai River, while a tree fell on a vehicle, killing the driver and injuring 4 others. Search operations are ongoing to recover 7 family members buried in a landslide. And a mother and daughter were also tragically killed in another landslide in Rongjeng. Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma reviewed the flood situation and directed district administration to seek government assistance for relief work. He is prioritizing repairs to critical roadways affected by the deluge. Parts of the Garo Hills, particularly the Dalu block in West Garo Hills and Gwaswapara block in Garo Hills, have been severely affected by natural calamities. Many residents have lost homes, belongings, cattle and loved ones due to landslides and blocked roads, with several bridges damaged or washed away by flash floods. In response, NGOs and musicians from Tura are organizing relief efforts to distribute basic necessities, supported by Dalu block staff and the state disaster response force. The United Democratic Party, or UDP, has proposed raising the combined reservation for the Khasi, Jaintia and Garo communities from 80% to 83%, citing an increase in the scheduled tribe population from about 80% in 1971 to nearly 86% in 2011. UDP General Secretary Jamino Mautho advocated for 85% reservation in non-transferable district-level posts for permanent residents who speak the local language. In a related development, VPP MLA Adalbert Nongrum proposed a job reservation system allocating 50% for the Khasi Jaintia category and 30% for the Garo category, warning that if this is not accepted, an 86% combined reservation based on the 2011 census should be enforced. This proposal includes input from BJP leaders A.L. Hek and Sanbor Shulai, as well as UDP leader Meryl Bonds Aim, who has also called for a re-evaluation of the current reservation policy.
We as a party, we would like to look objectively at this reservation policy. Although the framers of this policy at that point of time, we got a statehood, they in their wisdom, have given this formula in the best interest of the people of the state. But for so many years, there has not been a review of this reservation policy. So by giving our views, our submissions, not only from our side, from different stakeholders, I hope that the expert committee will come out with some kind of a formula which will be acceptable to all the stakeholders in the state of Meghalaya.
Social Welfare Minister Paul Lyngdoh stated that the government is actively combating drug abuse in Meghalaya by utilizing preventive detention laws against traffickers. In response to criticism of the government's DREAM project, he emphasized that while people are free to voice their opinions, the government will remain focused on its work. Lyngdoh also remarked that some critics seem to thrive on negativity, suggesting that their voices would diminish without criticism.
So the safest way for them is to criticize us. Let them keep criticizing. We are doing whatever is best for us to do. If they don't criticize, they will cease to exist. So they criticize in order to be seen and to be heard. This year, we have been able to invoke provisions of preventive detention for drug traffickers. This has never happened in the past. But for any NGO to praise the government would be for them to be seen as being pro-government. So the safest way for them is to criticize us. Let them keep criticizing, we'll keep doing our work.
The United Democratic Party, or UDP, has urged the state government to establish designated terminal points for vehicles arriving from other districts to help ease the worsening traffic situation in Shillong. Party officials noted that the increasing congestion necessitates measures that would allow only emergency vehicles to enter the city, while other vehicles would be parked at these terminal points. This initiative aims to improve traffic flow and enhance the overall commuting experience in Shillong.
Time and again, from our side, we had given our suggestions to the government, and I hope that the government this time will take the matter very seriously. We need to come together, the synchronization of these different departments, because it has to be a multi-pronged approach. It cannot just be one approach, right? And then when we talk about the traffic flow that is coming to the city of Shillong from the different districts, now this is also a cause of concern. So there has to be some kind of terminal points where these vehicles coming from different districts can stop in one place and should not be allowed to enter the city of Shillong. Only those vehicles who are being given the permission to enter, let them enter, so that it will ease the traffic congestion to a certain extent.
Meghalaya Tourism Minister Paul Lyngdoh announced that the state's living route bridges, or Jinking Jri, are already on UNESCO's tentative list. A recent delegation led by the minister met with Simona Meghalescu, president of the 42nd UNESCO General Conference, to advocate for the unique bridges. In a presentation to top UNESCO officials, Lyngdoh highlighted the engineering marvel of these structures and expressed his enthusiasm for introducing them to a global audience.
Our living routes bridges, which we have by way of a presentation introduced to the highest officials of the UNESCO, is a marvel of engineering. And each of these bridges normally last for hundreds of years. And therefore getting the UNESCO stamp of recognition would mean that we take them to the global level.
Meghalaya Tourism Minister Paul Lyngdoh announced plans to install a prominent welcome arch and a stage in Shillong to greet visitors. The initiative, which has been shared with government colleagues in the tourism and art and culture departments, aimed to enhance the visitors' experience by providing a welcoming sign and a performance space for musicians and buskers. The project is set to be completed before Christmas this year.
Visitors to Shillong should immediately upon arrival see a prominent. The plan is that visitors to Shillong should immediately upon arrival see a prominent signage that welcomes them to the music capital, which is Shillong, and we will be installing a welcome arch and a stage, which will provide space for musicians and buskers to perform and entertain visitors and the public. And there will be that immediate sense that someone has arrived at the music capital.
The inaugural Northeast Cricket Development Council Senior Women Interstate Friendship T20 tournament concluded with Nagaland and Sikkim sharing the championship title after the final match was affected by inclement weather at the cricket ground in Pamsing, Nongkra yesterday. Notable attendees at the closing ceremony included Diki D. Shira, Director of Sports and Youth Affairs of Meghalaya, and Mammon Marjundar, Board of Control for Cricket in India Apex Council member. As part of the agreement, Sikkim will hold the trophy for 6 months before it is passed to Nagaland. The Israel Defense Forces releasing footage showing its efforts to identify and seal Hezbollah tunnels in Lebanon, claiming to have destroyed 250 meters of the group's terror infrastructure. While the IDF reported finding equipment intended for attacks on Israel, Reuters was unable to independently verify the video's location or date. This ground intrusion into Lebanon is part of Israel's ongoing operations against Hezbollah as the anniversary of Hamas' October 7 attack approaches. Keeling United FC emerged victorious in the final match of the first Knockout Open football tournament, defeating R. Sutunga FC 1-0 at the Jorbil Football Ground. In the boys category final, RBYF Laishnong unit triumphed over Joplin FC with a score of 3-0. As champions, Keeling United FC received a cash prize of 1 lakh and a trophy, while RBYF Laishnong unit was awarded 10,000 rupees and a trophy for their success. The event, attended by KSU Sports Secretary Eric Nongkinri and RBYF leader Nevasat Maukdok, aimed to uplift youth in sports and promote drug awareness, urging the community to unite against social evils.
Keeling unit atau konsisten dengan keeling unit operasi ini sudah menolong ini kita program bangun dokumen sekadar ban UI bahag ni kesni lah ni atlet team pada hak ni kesni in salah ban sakhi manu kita ke bakamran hak kesni pol dia bantuan nilai i bahag ni kesat jinakai kami sudah menjinakai dan mulai kali orang ramai entah jemur Isim yang kini karinsan bahkan dari lat namta jumpi pinangla bankil sa kuripat ikadam.
The weather report. The maximum temperature was recorded at 21.7 degrees Celsius and the minimum temperature was 15.5 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity in the morning was 91%, while in the evening it was 88%. Forecast: light to moderate rainfall and thunder showers very likely to occur at most places. Before we wrap up, here are the headlines once again. Voter turnout at 61.19 in Haryana Assembly elections. Floods and landslides in Garo Hills claim 5 lives amid ongoing crisis. Meghalaya politicians push for job reservation reforms amid rising scheduled tribe population. Meghalaya government addresses drug abuse with preventive detention. And UDP proposes terminal points to elevate Shillong's traffic rules. Well, viewers, that is all we have for you from our newsroom this evening. We will be back tomorrow at the same time with new updates. Till then, Have a good night.